And welcome back to the third spike. After just 2 episodes, I'm pleased to say that the Coronavirus Chronicles are once more contributing to improving the nation's fitness by encouraging people out of doors, or indeed anywhere else where the Coronavirus Chronicles can't be viewed. Saturday the 25th of April, 1750 hours. Cold, hard science and warm, fuzzy superstition. My fellow hermits, my Damascene conversion to the godless purity of science results from an early brush with another highly infectious virus, measles. For me, in cosseted middle-class Birmingham, it meant 10 days confined to bed. And I mean confined. I had to get permission in triplicate, countersigned by my mother, to get out of bed for a wee. Aged just 12, I was bored witless. Almost out of books, I had a choice between home electronics, build your own oscilloscope, and inorganic chemistry. Now, I was top of the form in biology, mostly because I had heard the third-year syllabus covered reproduction, and there were going to be diagrams. Chemistry, however, was a dark art. The book in question, first published in 1913, had been reprinted almost without revision since 1938 and was still currently recommended as a school textbook for O-level. Worrying? Well, no. You see, basic chemistry hasn't altered much since 1913, or indeed for at least the past 13.5 billion years that we know about. Now, I learnt about something called the periodic table, which defines, lists and sorts the known elements into an orderly set of columns. These columns and their properties are the cookbook for every chemical in existence, on a single page. I was gobsmacked. I still am. It is beautiful, elegant, and utterly compelling. An instruction manual for the universe's Lego set. Now, there are 3 certainties in life. There's death, taxes, and the fact that some smart arts will tell you there are 2 certainties in life. Unless you are very rich, in which case it's just death. Now, we all have our rituals to avert impending doom. Some of us worship deities or possessions. Some of us are politicised and join extremist groups. Some of us despise politics and become Liberal Democrats. I think my rituals are based on something more fundamental. And it's not just that I like fun and that I'm a bit mental. You see, I see the universe as a beautifully ordered set of logical imperatives, all interdependent and completely cogent. It all makes absolute sense. It's immensely reassuring. And then, of course, there's real life, which makes no sense at all. And to be honest, I've never really quite got the hang of it. Now, my darling wife, Lorraine, is a bit OCD about tidiness. I have duplicate sets of almost every tool, and you may think this is down to absent-mindedness. No, not at all. Typically male, my memory is almost entirely visual. I can remember exactly where I left something if I can just picture it. This does have its downside. For instance, I can't actually see the mayonnaise in the fridge if Lorraine has moved it to another shelf, even if it comes in a rapidly moving, glow-in-the-dark container with flashing LEDs. I've 2 sets of tools because Lorraine moves stuff all the time. Now, there is an absolutely fair division of labour in our household. Lorraine vacuums, sweeps, dusts, launders, wipes, washes, polishes, spring cleans, reorganises, declutters and tidies, while I concentrate on, the more important stuff like, our position on nuclear disarmament and so on. When her time is due, she will be the neatest corpse the undertaker has ever seen. Her underwear will be spotless. If she collapses suddenly at the end, it will be into an immaculate French pleat. Whenever I am in danger of becoming depressed by the ultimate futility of existence, I take refuge in the blinding symmetry of that periodic table. The breathtaking icy beauty of rock salt crystallizing under a microscope in a visible reproduction of its molecular lattice, exactly as the periodic table predicts. But then my butterfly mind flits to the sobering thought that no matter how carefully you do the math, not all is right with the universe. You see, we know the approximate size of the universe and the quantity of matter or mass that we can detect. They are somewhat at odds. There is barely 1/10 of the amount of matter to account for the volume of the universe. There are numerous theories to explain this. Dark matter, antimatter, any number of new theoretical particles. Nonetheless, 9/10 of all mass is simply not there. It runs a coach and horses through my cosy vision of an ordered universe. It is disturbing and, well, untidy. I like to think that the rain has found the missing 90% of the universe and put it in a drawer somewhere. I do hope so. I find it strangely comforting. Thursday, the 30th of April, 10:19 hours. Brave New World. Fellow members of the Escape Committee. Let's face it, the 2-metre rule has been in place chez nous for over a decade. Now, I think it was something I said, but Lorraine keeps telling me there's no problem and everything is just fine. But no one else is going to have much fun dining out with social distancing still in place and the sommelier extolling the virtues of the 47 Chateau Lafite from behind their gas mask. Marks and Spencer will have to revise their policy on refunds because garments smelling of disinfectant are going to be a tough sell. Sporting events will have to make concessions. Rugby is going to be a challenge. With no tackling allowed, interception is going to rely on heavy sarcasm and dark looks. The game is also going to be noticeably slower, what with disinfecting the ball between passes. Now, I hate nightclubs. The loud music, the overpriced drinks, the queues around the block, the pocket Hitler on the door. Post-COVID-19, that's exactly what it's like to go supermarket shopping, only without the drugs. However, congestion and pollution from traffic are at historic lows. Local advances in automotive technology, ignored for years by global car industry giants, could be set to revolutionise a truly green personal transport technology. And I refer, of course, to number one, the Shropshire Constant Velocity Gearbox, or SCVG. This 2-speed system is massively fuel efficient. Gear 1, or Park, uses no fuel whatsoever and is normally used when abandoning the vehicle across any 2 or 3 parking spaces at an angle a generous 24 inches from the curb. Second gear, EconoLimp, allows vehicles to reach 34.8 miles per hour from a standing start in under 10 minutes and can be used at full speed on all Class A, B or C roads, including pedestrian zones, supermarket car parks, zebra crossings whilst in use by pedestrian, all 15, 20 and 30 mile per hour zones, the outside lane of dual carriageways and motorways, particularly slip roads in the rush hour. These gearboxes are most commonly fitted, without any sense of conscious irony, to vehicles like the Suzuki Swift, the Dacia Potless and the Kia Frump. Number 2, the Ludlow Triangle electric tricycle. The Ludlow Triangle, bounded by Ludlow, Leominster and Tenbury, is legendary for the mysterious and inexplicable disappearance of clothed sense amongst the elderly. Many smart, intelligent and previously fashionable retirees leave their home to walk the dog or do a spot of shopping, only to reappear inexplicably dressed in sandals, pyjama bottoms and a badly frayed barber jacket. However, local retired electricians and former Rover MG design engineers have almost completed a revolutionary new electric trike, the Wooferton 50 Cycles Model AC240V, which will be going on the market just as soon as they perfect an extension lead which will get you into Brimfield Village Shop and back again. Sure to be popular amongst womenfolk who will be able to prevent their husbands from reaching the pub or indeed getting home again by simply switching off at the main socket in the kitchen. Number 3, the Three Counties driverless car. Now, the Wild West, that is the local intertwining of the Shropshire, Hereford, Worcestershire borders, where nobody is quite sure who collects the council tax or indeed what we actually get for it, is an unlikely setting for a quantum leap in transport technology. Indeed, the crisscrossing of county lines in the back lanes make it all but impossible for the police to stamp out the rampant local trade in smuggled cheese. And yet, a state-of-the-art driverless car, more normally at home on the campuses of Silicon Valley startups, is a common sight in Tenbury. The vehicle, an elderly and very badly dented Nissan Micra, clearly recovered from a scrapyard and recommissioned with sophisticated, top-secret, computer-driven inertial guidance and microwave collision detection systems, is often seen driving directly down the centre of Team Street at 6 miles an hour before parking at right angles to the curb outside the Spotty Dog tea rooms, with no one visible in the driver's seat. Sole occupant, 94-year-old Gladys, was tight-lipped about the carefully concealed technology when we approached her. Plucky 4 3" Gladys head-butted our reporter in the groin and, despite the tea rooms being closed for the duration, managed to batter her way through the front doors with her walking stick in pursuit of a scone. Well, I think it's time for another drink. You know, the doctor is always on about easing up on the G&T, but you know, in the 40 years I've been knocking this stuff back, I haven't got malaria once. Damn, it's empty again.